Good morning and God bless you, brothers and sisters. I am here in office this morning. I am on law number 2 in the 17 indisputable laws of teamwork. This law is the law of the big picture. Dr. Maxwell pointed out that several years ago they were in a conference and people were jockeying for a position as they were understanding that the amount of time allotted when they would speak. They looked at how many people would be in attendance in a particular time. So all of the speakers who were slated to speak were trying to jock for a position. Now, Dr. Maxwell noticed that there was one gentleman who had the topic that would be most beneficial to those at the conference. He noticed that brother was not even trying to jockey for a position, but he realized that he had the best spot to speak. But he also realized this gentleman had the topic that was best suited to be a blessing to the people. So instead of jockeying for a position, he said, "Gentlemen, we need to give this brother my spot." Good morning, Sister Robinson, Sister Gatlin. He turned and said, "Please take my spot." Good morning, Sister Elliott. Why? Because he recognized it was about the big picture. One of the problems that we face when it comes to teamwork and having the best situation happen, the best end result, is that if we're not careful, we will lose sight of the big picture. Somebody has to be able to say, the big picture is greater than my own personal gain. And that's what Dr. Maxwell recognized in that moment. And it was a blessing because he said after that, all of the people who were slated to speak began to refocus themselves on the big picture. We have to get out of this idea of what's in it for me. That's not to say we shouldn't have a desire to benefit from what we do. But if our sole desire is on what's in it for me instead of how's this going to be a benefit to those connected to me and those we are attempting to serve. If our focus is ego driven and we only focus on ourselves, then we really do not have the law of the big picture in the forefront of our thoughts. And that could be detrimental to the overall efforts of the team. If you think you are the entire picture, you will never see the big picture. Why? A team isn't supposed to be a bunch of people used as a tool by one individual for selfish gain. Listen to this. Members of a team must have mutually beneficial shared goals. Therefore, they must be motivated to work together, not manipulated by someone for the individual glory. Another quote here. If a team is to reach its potential, each player must be willing to subordinate his personal goals to the good of the team. That's a quote by Bud Wilkerson. It's very difficult for a team to accomplish great things when everyone is out for their own personal gain, instead of subjecting themselves to the goals of the team. Magic Johnson said it like this: everybody on the championship team doesn't get publicity, but everybody on the team can say they are a champion. So what do we need to do? What's up with the big picture? Well, the first thing we have to do is look up at the big picture. We have to have goals and a vision, and we have to paint that picture so that we have something to look up to. The next thing we have to do is size up the situation. Let's evaluate ourselves. Let's look at ourselves and understand and see that if what we are doing is not lining up with the overall goal, then we are not going to get where we said we were going to go. The third thing is to line up needed resources. You can have a goal and you can be focused on getting to the goal. But if what we're doing doesn't have the proper backing, if we don't have the proper ammunition, we're not going to reach the goal. We have to make evaluation and say, hey, do we have the equipment, facilities, funds, and everything else that's needed to get to the goal? Because if you're climbing a mountain, or if you're capturing a market, or if you're creating a ministry, you can't do it just on want to. You can't say that's the goal only. You have to have the resources and you must line them up. The next thing is we must call up the right players. You can have the goal. You can have a desire to reach the goal. You can have the resources, but if the right players are not in place to play, you're not going to win the championship. You could just look at what happened to the Lakers this year. The next thing is to give up personal agendas. It is so easy, if we're not careful, to get caught up in our personal agendas. If we get caught up in personal agendas, it will pull us away from the goal of the team. Something we must understand is this. Ray Kroc said that no one of us is more important than the rest of us. That's what Ray Kroc said. He understood that if we believe we're more important than everybody else, and this one says I'm more important than you, and this one says I'm more important than that one, then we're doomed if we're going to operate as a team. But once we understand that no one of us is more important than the rest of us, as a team, we can move forward. See, when you look at the law of the big picture, you understand that whatever is needed to help the team accomplish the goal, then that's what I'm going to do. And what you'll find out is it will create a synergy and it will motivate other team members to do the same. And before long, the goal is reached with a lot less effort and a whole lot more joy. The next thing we have to do is step up to a higher level. We have to look at it and understand. Here's what Nietzsche said. Many are stubborn in pursuit of the path they have chosen, few in pursuit of the goal. The problem with that is a lot of times the potential of people goes untapped. And people are dependent on them and they are going to be let down because people aren't willing to step up. It's a step up to sacrifice your ego. It's a step up to say the team is more important than my individual dream. It's a step up to say, you know what, this might be the best course of action. Even though it takes the spotlight off of me, it's going to be better for everybody else. As we wrap this up today, looking at the law of the big picture, here's some teamwork thoughts. When you see the big picture correctly, you serve the team more quickly. I believe that people who are a part of a team that don't quickly rally to support the team, they don't see the law of the big picture. But when you see the law of the big picture, you'll be willing to step up and run fast to help the end result be manifest. What goal in your life is bigger than you are? Are you currently participating in something greater than yourself? If you're not, set aside some time alone reflecting on your goals and priorities. If you are trying to accomplish something big, then ask yourself what you are willing to do to accomplish it. Are you willing to take a subordinate role if necessary, for the good of the team, as President Carter did? If not, you may become a hindrance to the success of the team. Lastly, think about a team you are currently part of, preferably a team with a big goal. What kind of attitude do team members have when it comes to the big picture? Are they team players who desire to do whatever it takes for the team to succeed, or do they desire to benefit only themselves? Let's begin to foster a team mindset in others by modeling a willingness to serve the big picture rather than ourselves. If it starts with you, it's going to translate to the rest of the team. And pretty soon, everybody will flow in the momentum of the law of the big picture. God bless you. God keep you. Heaven smile upon you. To God be the glory. Have a wonderful day. I look forward to sharing law number 3, 17 indisputable laws of teamwork. Dr. John C. Maxwell. God bless you. God keep you. Heaven smile upon you. To God be the glory. You will also be able to find these on the YouTube page for Rock Spring as they get uploaded. God bless you.